everyone, Kiki here from AdaptDaily, and I wanted to address if you should take your adaptogens with or without food. Here at AdaptDaily, a lot of our clients ask us when they should take our Restore gummies, if they should take them with food, without food, and definitely this is a popular topic amongst taking, vitamins, supplements, etc. Now, first things first, our AdaptDaily Restore gummies are made from adaptogenic herbs, which are in and of themselves food-grade herbs, which means that you can take them consistently, every day for a long period of time without any negative side effects. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. And of course, adaptogens on their own, they come in many different forms. Many popular ways include as teas, as tinctures, powders. We decided to do them as gummies, sort of inspired by CBD gummies, actually. I remember years back I was approached and asked if I wanted to actually produce my own CBD gummy. At the time I was doing cannabis for wellness workshops. My brother has autism, and I was really diving deep into the research of how cannabis, in particular the CBD compound, could really help folks that live with autism. And anyways, long story short, I said no to that, but it got me thinking, well, there are CBD gummies, why aren't there adaptogen gummies? And there's actually other benefits to why we have our adaptogenic gummies specifically as gummies, because you have to chew them, you have to eat them, right? And when you chew, we activate the digestive fluids and acids that ultimately help us absorb the material that we're taking in. For those of you who eat our AdaptDaily gummies, you know that there is a little bit of that bitterness, especially at the end, thanks to ashwagandha. And again, that bitter flavor we don't really get enough of, especially in the North American diet. So taking in that bitter taste also helps to activate those digestive fluids and acids that I was talking about. Now, back to whether you should take your adaptogens with or without food. Ultimately, the consensus in the herbal community is that there's no particular right way to take adaptogens other than the way that makes you take them every single day, regularly. And again, that's why we made them in a gummy form, to really encourage our clients to take them each and every day versus having powders where you kind of have to incorporate them into smoothies or food because they don't taste amazing on their own. But let's be real, are we having this beautiful, perfect adaptogenic smoothie every day? Maybe you are, but maybe you're not, and maybe you don't have time. But I think we all have time to pop a couple of gummies, and we can look forward to that, and that as well helps what we call client compliance. Now, in terms of should you take our actual gummies with or without food, now if you have a very sensitive stomach, it is probably a good idea to take adaptogens either with a snack or after a meal. For our Restore gummies, if you actually read on the package label, we suggest taking them after a meal. And it's actually proven that taking specifically ashwagandha straight after a meal can aid digestion and really reduce the chance of any side effects you might have from eating, like stomach aches or nausea. So, if you're taking your AdaptDaily gummies specifically for stress, then we suggest taking them in the morning, in which case, you can take them if you have a morning snack or after breakfast. And then if you're taking them more for the purpose of sleep, then taking them after dinner time is absolutely perfect. And a lot of our clients talk about how they actually look forward to taking their little gummies at the end, sort of like a little dessert treat, or maybe even a dessert to your dessert. And it's also important to note that, I've mentioned ashwagandha. Our gummies are not just ashwagandha, but they also have other synergistic herbs alongside them. So synergistic refers to the interaction or cooperation of two or more substances to produce a combined effect that is greater than the sum of their separate parts. I remember hearing when we were formulating the AdaptDaily gummies that ashwagandha, although it's super powerful, only works in about 50% of people unless it's combined with holy basil. So that's why AdaptDaily Restore gummies are formulated alongside these complementary herbs like holy basil, otherwise known as tulsi, as well as reishi mushroom, as well as amla berry. And we actually put that amla berry in because it's a really high dose of vitamin C, which helps for the absorption of the reishi mushroom. And so in terms of actually incorporating adaptogens into food, we suggest doing that recreationally. I still do it. I still am guilty of putting some ashwagandha or some, maca powder, a little bit of ginseng in your smoothie or in a tonic. But I want people to start thinking of that as, this kind of recreational bonus, because unless you're taking them on a consistent basis in an efficacious dose, not really going to do anything. So I actually just recently wrote a blog that shares some of our favorite recipes that include adaptogens in the food, so you can kind of experiment with adaptogens in your kitchen. The disclaimer, though, is you're not really going to get too much benefit of just kind of sprinkling ashwagandha in a cupcake here and there. You really do. You have to be consistent with it. And last little tip before I let you guys go, with the Restore gummies, they have a very high efficacious Health Canada approved dose of ashwagandha. And ashwagandha consists of both water soluble as well as fat soluble constituents, which means ideally, in order to really absorb all of the juicy benefits of that ashwagandha, you're going to want to have a glass of water. As well, our gummies are really, really high in fiber, so that helps move everything along, so to speak. And take it after a meal so that you still have those fat compounds in your body, and the ashwagandha can really be absorbed to the fullest. And there we have it, adaptogens and food. That's my little spiel on that. Any other questions, comments, concerns? We love hearing from you guys. All right, here's Kiki over and out.